I think the biggest improvement this year is that when it counts, when it really counts in Q3, I'm more often than not been able to deliver. And that's been a real a step forward, I think, at least compared to last year.
I think today ultimately it came down to the decision to go for either 1 or 2 times at the end. I chose to go for 1 time because that worked in Q2, but for some reason not anymore in Q3. So yeah, it's annoying.
I'm happy with third. Like I said before, it was so hard the whole weekend just to make the front tires work, then the rear tires, and I think we did a good job in Q3. It was more or less working, not everywhere, but good enough for P3, so it's a good starting position.
As I was saying before the weekend, the only memories I had from this track were very, very bad. So I don't know. I'm not particularly confident on this track, but the car was good today. It was quite tricky in Q3, but I managed to put my lap all together, and this I think made the difference.
Every lap is different. You don't know what to expect. You do a warm-up lap. You don't do a warm-up lap. It's always the same. It's pretty difficult out there. It's changing a lot, but yeah, I'm pleased with the result.
Getting that soft tyre to work, it's been a real challenge for, I think, for everyone really, but especially for us. So we tried the mediums, we gave them a shot. I think it would have been okay, but it's just so different, and we didn't drive it beforehand. So in hindsight, we probably could have done something a bit better, but otherwise, P6 is not too bad.
We've been quick all weekend, but as soon as we left the pits in quali, we felt the car, both Lando and I, complaining about the same things. It was not the same as FP3, so we knew we were going to struggle, and then unfortunately the wind picked up through qualifying and we just got slower and slower.
Sometimes it's just a bit of luck. If the wind just changes a little bit into a headwind all of a sudden for whatever reason, you can gain 1-2 tenths instantly. So it's a bit of luck of the draw with the wind on some laps, but P7 and P8 for us I think is reasonably good.
Personally, I'm a bit disappointed because I felt there was probably slightly more to do. There is clearly something we see when the wind is very low, like this morning, for example, in FP3. The car works really well. We are very competitive, and as soon as the wind picks up, we seem to lose a lot of load and struggle a lot more with the balance and the grip in general.
It's been a relatively tricky weekend. I think probably for most, the track's been really slippery and quite hard to find a good balance. But I think we belong in Q3, so we got there, but we'll have to find a bit more tomorrow.
It's been a tough day yesterday, a tough day today. We struggled a little bit with the balance of the car overall, and it's difficult to feel comfortable.
All weekend I was just really struggling with the car. I felt it's been very inconsistent on my side, and it's been a while I haven't driven, so just a combination of all those things.
Well, it was very tricky out there today. A lot of wind, the car was moving around a lot, and I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't have more than that.
I mean, a tenth and a half to P11 on the grid, which for us is extraordinary. We're all pushing as hard as we can to get everything out of this car. We're making good progress, with the engineers to really do that, and it's just mega. On a track like this, to do a lap like that, it's great.
Well, I struggle to just get things together. I mean, it's very difficult to build a rhythm when it's basically different every time around.
I think unfortunately we seem to suffer a lot when there's a wind from wrong direction, and the car actually feels quite nice in certain places, but when the wind is from behind, a bit from tail, the side, it's looks like it's just it's painful, but it's a shame, but that's what we do.
Out from Q1, but we knew coming here will be difficult with our car, and we'll see now tomorrow what happens with the weather and everything, and hopefully we can have a smooth race.
We're struggling a lot with overheating on the rear suspension on my car, meaning that the platform keeps moving and then the car balance change lap after lap, but not by a small amount. So I don't know where we're going to end up in the race, but it could be quite emotional.
We had some problem with the car that meant we could only do 2 laps every run. We were planning to do 3 laps on the first at least, and then 2 on the next. So we couldn't do that. And
when the wind picked up a bit towards the end of FP3 and stayed similar for quali, just started to get some more inconsistencies, and there was just big mistakes on too many of the laps. There was definitely much more in it, so quite frustrated with myself.